record, and we will get right into this nitty gritty. Thanks for
Hi,
you guys. Oh, baby.
She likes to say hello.
Hey.
hi.
Hi.
Say hi.
Hello,
Say
hello.
hi. Okay, go to bed. Good night, bud.
Mindy, hug your child for me, please.
I will, friend. I will.
Love it. All right. Well, good evening, ladies. Thanks for jumping on, and thanks for being patient with me. Like I said, we have a couple coaches over, and we were just going through some nuts and bolts and then eating some delicious chicken. But I did want to get on here tonight, and I want to compliment all of you that did that exercise about the list of 10. I printed them out because I just want to have them on hand because I think it's really cool, and I want to remind you guys of them from time to time because there was some really neat stuff that popped up in that, and I noticed a lot of similarities between some of you guys. So if you read through everyone else's list of 10, you probably noticed some of the same things. I see Katie's like nodding. There was a lot of really cool like overlap between people that I wouldn't necessarily have assumed that there was going to be overlap. So just imagine that if even within our small group of like 100 coaches that are in that Team Titanium group, there was that much overlap. Think of how many people that are on your friends list that probably have that same overlap and you don't realize that you have those common interests or mutual relationships or whatever it is. Just think that those are going to be even more ways to connect with people. And when you connect on more than one level, you're going to build trust and you're going to have those deeper, stronger relationships with people. So it's important to make sure that you're kind of putting all those things, the ones that at least you're comfortable with, out there for the world to know about. I mean, from as funny facts like today, Katie, I tagged you in that post that was like, happy birthday to what's her face?
Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Yes. And I was like, oh my gosh, that makes me think of you now. And I would have never had that association if it weren't for this exercise. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's like, it's building those relationships on like a different level. And so even within our team, but especially like within your networks. And so the initial reason for doing that exercise was to have you guys posting more on your Facebooks and on your Instagrams and on your social media. And that was actually a conversation I was just having. So one of the new coaches, my friend Grady, he works at the front desk at Orange Theory, where I just got hired as a trainer. And so we were talking about how in that business, we want to make our social media presence pretty known, and we want to be all over people's pages so that they come and fill our classes because we get paid by membership, right? So I want my stuff to be showing up a lot, and he is going to be doing the same thing. And I said, you know, it all cross-pollinates, right? Because if you're having people that see your stuff from Orange Theory, they also, if they're coming to your page for that, are going to see all of your Beachbody stuff sprinkled in. And if people are coming to your page for Beachbody, they're going to see all your other stuff sprinkled in. So remember, the whole point of that exercise was to make sure that we're showing variety on our social media so that people see that our life is about more than just Beachbody. And that's a value for a lot of reasons. It's going to attract more people. It might bring more people that wouldn't have otherwise talked with you about Beachbody, but also remember we said that if all they're seeing is Beachbody, it might be overwhelming for them, thinking that that's all that you do or that you have to spend so much time on it. And really, that's not necessarily the reality of it. Like for me, my whole shtick is having Beachbody as part of my lifestyle, and I want people who have that same passion of living an active lifestyle with this being one piece of it. So like I said, I'm going to go through a couple of things on different social media platforms that you might want to try. And I kind of...
I just wanted to real quick and ask.
Sorry, 1 second.
Have Grady and Emma say hi.
Okay, let them watch their stuff and then we can...
Okay. Just come out and get away.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to run my call now. Okay, so like some things that you might actually like try, and I'll go a little more in depth with them. So the first thing that I had on here was Facebook groups. So that's going to be topic number 1 on Facebook, is trying to find some groups that surround some of those things on your list of 10. So for example, one of my list of 10 is that I like to travel. So I searched on Facebook for travel, and one of the groups that popped up is Girls Who Travel or something like that. I think that's the title of it. And I joined it, And little did I know, this is like a nation, or not a nation, like a worldwide thing that people know of. They hashtag, they travel and like meet each other and sleep on couches and plan adventures together. And I thought, what a great group to be a part of, not only for a Beachbody connection potentially, but really just as a great networking tool as a person who really does like to travel. So, you know, I was in there asking about honeymoon advice, and anytime someone is talking about a place that I've been, I go in there and add value by talking about my experience there. And that was kind of one of the things that I wanted to point out, is going into these groups not with the intention of slinging product, because that can, first of all, go against their policies and procedures. Like, there's always guidelines in all these groups, and most of them say, like, don't go in and sell your stuff, which I totally respect and understand. Like, that's not the point of that group. You have your own group to do that in, and you have the right to do that there, or bring them to your page. But if you're joining a group, make sure that anything you're posting either adds value or brings some sort of conversation to light. So if you're joining a group, I want you to get out of your head the, like, how is Beachbody going to benefit, or like, how is my Beachbody coach going to benefit from this group? And just start thinking about, how am I going to benefit? How am I going to encourage these people or motivate these people? And it can be fitness related. I'm in this really weird group that I don't even want to suggest any of you join, because it's incredibly disturbing, but it's called the Woman Hole. I don't know. It's very weird. It's like, women talk about all kinds of really weird things. Jimmy suggested that I join it because he was really curious about what it was. And like, I kind of regret it, but I'm in it because it's interesting. But it was started by a Beachbody coach. And so I'm sure that she has some sort of ulterior motive in doing it, right? Like, she's networking with people and she can reach out to them because she has to approve everyone that goes in. But these women are posting everything, like from their private life, they're posting travel stuff, they're posting professional stuff, they're posting financial stuff, they're posting fitness stuff. And so that's a group where I go in and I just try to connect with people on the posts that I can read, because there's a lot of them that I go like this on. But when someone's posting about like a non-scale victory, I go in and I'm just supportive. Or people are like, I need to lose weight. I'm not going in there and I'm not talking about Beachbody, but I share what I've done. I'm like, oh yeah, I had the most success when I worked on portion control, blah, 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 blah. If that person chooses to connect with me outside of that group, they know that I'm a person that does portion control. And when they go to my page, because I'm consistently posting, they're going to see that. But I make it as a general rule to never mention the word Beachbody, to never product place. So I don't say Shakeology, I don't say 21 Day Fix. If I'm talking about fitness or nutrition stuff, I use a blanket statement. Like, I do home fitness, I drink my superfood shake, I use portion control. So I use those blanket statements if I'm making any conversation in those groups. Then when they come to my page, because likely they will, if I'm engaging with people and they see me popping up in a conversation, I mean, I do the same thing. If somebody's responding to my post in a group, I go and see who that person is, because maybe we have that common interest of travel and maybe we have something else in common. So when they go to my page, if they're interested in that and want to know more, they're going to ask. It's what we talked about last week, where a lot of you wanted to know how to increase your network without being salesy. Well, if you're mentioning the product, you're kind of being salesy. But if you're sharing what you do and inviting them to come and connect with you, it's a lot less salesy. So does that make sense to everyone?
Yeah.
So Facebook groups are a great tool, but make sure you're not abusing them, because you're going to get that reputation in that group if you even remain in it, because they could easily kick you out of it. And also it's going to deter people from connecting with you outside of that group. So I'd love it if everyone went through their list and kind of highlighted a couple of things that they want to search for. I mean, there's 10 things on that list, and not all of them are going to have a group dedicated to them on Facebook. And I mean, if there's a group of 10 people, it might not be as great of a use of your time. Like the Girls Who Travel or whatever group that is, it has like hundreds of people in it from all over the nation. And like, strangely enough, there's a girl that I went to high school with that's in that group. So you can see groups that have mutual friends. And I try to avoid, when I'm joining groups, I try to avoid groups that are full of my Beachbody coach mutual friends. So like, I know Sarah and I have that issue that pops up a lot, right? We went to high school together. We have a lot of mutual friends. So if I see a group that's like girls who run in the Bay Area and all of my common friends that are in that group are also Beachbody coaches, I just kind of move on and find another group. It's not that I don't want to engage in that group, but maybe my expertise and my engagement can be better used in a group where there's not already a bunch of people who are probably doing the same thing. So that's kind of how I gauge it. If my mutual friends or like the friends that are in that group, you know, it'll pop up like friends you might know that are in that group. If it's a bunch of people that are already Team Titanium coaches, I usually steer clear of that group just because I don't need more group clutter in my world. And if it's already being blanketed by Beachbody, I don't really see a huge value of me adding my 2 cents in there. So that's Facebook, and that's where I would do it. I would connect with people. I would start conversations. And if you feel comfortable, if somebody's replying to something that you post, because adding, you know, questions or topics into those groups is a great idea too. If somebody's connecting and you guys are having a conversation, go over to their page, like a bunch of their stuff or comment on their own pictures and see if they connect with you that way. So that's another way for you to actively try to connect with people, is to go over to their page and not necessarily add them, but maybe just like some of their stuff that actually is interesting of liking stuff, but really things that you actually like. So that's on Facebook. So Facebook is where most of us spend a lot of our time. Am I right?
Yeah. I have a question for you on Facebook.
Pardon?
I have a question for you on Facebook.
Yep.
Is your page private or public?
It's public. I know it's so that's I know that a lot of people want to keep their stuff private. And for me as a teacher, it was something that at the beginning I kind of struggled with, and then I got to the point in my career. I don't know who's. Let me see. I don't know who that is. But basically I got to the point where I was like, if they see something on my Facebook that they don't like, or if people find me that I don't want seeing me, like, screw it. Maybe then it's not the job for me, and that's horrible. And like, I don't think everyone needs to be that way. But I think that anything I put on Facebook, I'm proud to say or do in front of my coworkers and my boss. So I don't know. And some people that teach older grades, maybe they have their students searching them or parents.
That happens to me. All my 5th and 6th graders are trying to find me. They already try to find me, and I'm private, and I have to deny it all the time. And so that's what I'm afraid of.
So do you have a like page that you've started at all?
No.
Because that's another.
That's what I did, because I am a domestic violence attorney, so I cannot have a public page. Like, it's a privacy concern.
Yeah.
So I have a like page. I mean, I'm sure they'll still find me, but they won't be able to see my content, and that's okay.
Right.
But the like page is actually generating people I don't know, so it's been kind of interesting.
And like pages are a great idea too, because you can run ads on like pages. So you can do like sponsored posts, and you can target people that you wouldn't otherwise be in their friends list. And you can say, you know, like, I want people that are 25 to 30 who have an interest in fitness and nutrition and whatever. If you have a good post, you can pay. And I usually set my limit really short, like small, like $3 to $5, and it'll still get into like thousands of eyes that would see a post of yours, and then that'll bring them back to your page. So you can do Beachbody stuff on a like page if that's something that you're concerned about with that privacy. And my like page, I pop over there from time to time. I could be better and more consistent on it, because I know that there's people that have great success with just running Beachbody on there. The way that I run my business, I like to do kind of the lifestyle, so I want people to see my life and Beachbody and all that stuff fitting in, but you could easily do that over on your like page also.
Okay.
Just for me, like, what I would say is, if you're going to start a like page or use a like page, you really have to be consistent about posting on there, because you want, when people go there, for them to have something to scroll through and see, like a history of like recipes or posts or other stuff on there. I'm terrible about that. And so, like, do as I say, not as I do. Like, make sure that if you're using that page to engage with people, there's something for them to see when they land. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Let me ask you kind of a sidebar question on that, since you teach. Kind of a little off topic.
That's okay.
So I'm not necessarily, like, I don't really post anything that I would be afraid of hiding or anything. Like, I'm a pretty, not a crazy person. So I guess, like, ethically, what's your take on, if I do end up going public, what's your take on the kids finding me and seeing everything? You know what I mean? Like I said, I don't think there's anything that I need to be ashamed of for my kids to see.
Right.
But ethically, what do you think?
I mean, honestly, the only thing that's like on my page that I think would be questionable is like, funny story. I was doing a professional development that I was running, and they had a video of me teaching my kids. And so it was hosted on my YouTube channel, which I don't post much stuff to, but I happen to have uploaded all the thanks and planks challenges on there. Mm-hmm. So after my video ran, it'll pop up like, here's 6 videos you might want to watch. And of course, like the top left corner is like me in my sports bra, like doing a plank.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not ashamed of that. And like, there were people chuckling in the audience. Like, it was my coworkers, whatever. Like, they know I do the Beachbody thing. Like, would I want my parents that are in my class and my students to see that? Probably not. So, yeah. I mean, but at the same time, I'm public and I post that stuff on my page. So okay. I'm well aware that people could see it. I mean, there's also the possibility, I know that on like posts, you can set the privacy for a specific post. So if you're posting Beachbody stuff, you can select an audience and make some of them private and some of them public. I think that's an option. Katie, you're shaking your head. You can do that, right?
Yes, I do that a lot.
Okay. So like when you're posting it, it'll give you your audience, and you can make like, if you post stuff that's fitness related that you wouldn't want people to stumble upon, you can always click make private or only available to friends or friends of friends.
Make restricted lists if there are certain people that you don't want to see it too. You could do it the other way.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not friends with any of my students.
Right. They search your...
But yeah, they find me on a regular basis all the time, and I'm like, you guys need to stop doing that.
Right. So then, maybe anything that if you make your thing public and you make sure that your posts that you wouldn't want them to see are set to a private audience, then only your friends could see them, whereas anyone that searches you could see other stuff. So let's say you're posting recipes as well. Yeah. You set those to public, and that way when people search you, they see like your snowboarding pictures, your meal pictures, your Shakeology, but maybe they don't see your workout stuff or like other things that you think could be sensitive subjects.
Yeah. Okay. I like that plan. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. And it's totally up to your comfort level and your situation and all of that stuff. So I would never tell anyone to
definitely
do what I've done, but that's kind of what
things with those.
I mean, like when I first started, I was like posting all my stuff, and I guess it might have been like part of like me drinking on the weekends or whatever. But for those of you that went to Canyon, Mr. Ippolito like sent me a message and was like, hey, as one professional to another, like, I think you should be cautious about what you post on your Facebook. And I was like, you're not my teacher anymore. Like, you don't get to tell me that. So then I just rebelled. I was like, everything's public. I'm going whatever. So I haven't had fallout from it, but that's not to say that I couldn't. And I teach little kids too. So yeah, but I'd come home from the first day of school, and a parent of one of my students had already added me on Facebook, and I was like, no, deny. No.
I haven't had that happen yet. Thank God. Just my kids.
I'm in Silicon Valley. They're like, must find everything I can.
Yeah.
So that's my Facebook spiel. So that's a good place to start. And that can consume as much or as little time as you want. And what I do is I just kind of put it in as part of my power hour. Like, I spend 5 to 10 minutes checking in on like X, Y, and Z group, engaging at least like 2 or 3 posts, and then moving on to the next one. You don't have to spend your day reading every single post in there, but just be consistent in those groups, just like you would in a challenge group. Okay. The next one, I guess, would be Instagram. I'm going to skip over Twitter for now because a lot of us don't really have it, but it is super powerful and a really good place to go. But let's just do Instagram for now, since I think a lot of us have it. So a couple things that I'm sure you know about, but maybe not so sure about how to use or what to do with, like hashtags are super valuable. But one of the tricks that I learned with them was from Melissa, who's a coach on our team, and it's really been successful for me. It's using hashtags that maybe aren't as popular as others. And I'm sure you guys know, like if you hashtag fitness, there's going to be like a bazillion things, right? So yours will cycle through really quickly. So you might want to think of a list of, they say, I think 15 to 20 hashtags that are going to be ones that you post on basically everything that you do. And you can copy and paste those from your notes section. There's websites that you can go to, like you can Google popular fitness hashtags and it'll give you like the top 20 hashtags for fitness if you want to do that. But whatever you choose as your hashtag, here's what I think is important to do. Don't just hashtag it and leave it there and expect somebody to find you. Here's what she told me to do, and it has been the most successful thing when building my Instagram followers. You make the hashtag. So let's say I do girls that run, fit teacher, and like Team Titanium. Let's say I do those 3, right? When I post my picture and I do those 3 hashtags, I make sure that when I post my picture, I also make enough time that I can go and visit each hashtag and like a bunch of pictures that have that same hashtag. Because those people are going to be like, who's this random girl liking my picture? Oh, we must have a common interest. They come and look at your page. If they like what they see, then they're going to follow you, and vice versa. If you like what you see, follow them. But I would let them come to you first. So I go, if I say do 3 hashtags, I go to each of those hashtags and like probably 10 to 20 pictures in each of those. If it's somebody who I think I'm going to really like their stuff, I might go and like a couple of their pictures. Because if you've ever had somebody come and like your picture randomly and they've liked like 7 in your news, or not your news feed, but 7 in your feed, doesn't that make you go, huh, who's this person? Why are they checking me out? So then you go to their page and see what they're all about. That's the way to get someone's attention on Instagram. Either to leave a comment on them, because that is very rare. Likes are always happening, but comments are pretty rare. So if you want to get someone's attention, leave a comment, or go and like a bunch of their pictures, okay? That's going to bring them back to your page, and they're going to see if they like what your content is, and maybe you'll connect that way. Again, I would never go onto somebody's page and be like, you should join my challenge, or do you want to drink a shake, or any of that stuff. Although I have done that in the past, I've learned my lesson, and I no longer will do that. I instead just engage and let them come and see my stuff. And some of the stuff that I know is important on Instagram is making sure that your profile, somewhere in it, says Beachbody Coach. I think that's a smart thing to do so people know what they're getting into when they see your page. But also, as a Beachbody Coach, when I'm going to engage with people on Instagram, if I see Beachbody Coach, it's just a courtesy. Like, I'm not going to go and try to engage with them and try to get them into my stuff. I mean, I used to use Instagram as a way to keep track of people's stuff, and I still do to a degree, but Chelsea Pearson, who I think is like the queen of Instagram basically, has said like her Instagram is a way for her to find prospects, follow them, and engage with them. So she doesn't even have any of her friends on Instagram, which I think is a little much. I still like to see what my friends are doing, but she makes sure that she's not following fellow coaches. Like, we all love each other, and it's really nice to get all those automatic likes. But we don't need to necessarily be following each other, because that's just going to make less room for us to scroll. Have you ever gotten to like the bottom of your scroll and you're like, oh my God, I feel like I still haven't even seen everything, because you're going through all the people whose stuff you're already seeing the same thing on Facebook, because most of us have our Instagrams and our Facebooks linked. So think about that Instagram as being a little bit more efficient. You can see all that other stuff on Facebook, but save that Instagram for leads, prospects, and reaching out to new people, because it is a really good tool to reach out to random people. Facebook is a little bit more challenging, I find, to go out and hunt for new leads or connect with people. I don't know. For some reason, it just seems like it's a little bit more personal on Facebook, so it's kind of more intimidating. So on Instagram, it's really easy to just be that random person that likes a bunch of people's pictures, and then you might connect that way. And they might follow you for a while. I did get an app that was like, what's it called? Where I can track like who's following me and who's unfollowing me. And for a while, I was like, I remember Kimmy said on something, she's like, I got obsessive about it, and I would watch and see who was unfollowing me. But honestly, it's a good tool for me, because I see who's following me, and new followers, I go and engage on their page, like whether it's going and liking a bunch of their stuff or just seeing what they're all about. When people unfollow me, if I'm still following them, I unfollow them back, because I don't need to be on their page if they're not on mine. Like, no offense, but I don't need to. Oh my God, I just saw that I haven't opened this app in a really long time, and I have 41 lost followers, but I have 110 gained, so that's cool. So it kind of gives you like the like a ticker of all of your stuff, like your engagement, your likes per post, stuff like that. And this one is called Followers Plus. I think it's a free app, and basically it just kind of tells you a status report, right? So I probably, when I first got it, would check in like several times a day. But now, as you can see, I haven't checked in a really long time. But it's a good gauge of like new people, and it also brings them onto your radar so you can go engage with them, because maybe they want that personal touch and that's going to keep them following you. The other thing that's really important is, and you don't have to be as obsessive as me, but I think I've shown you guys this before. My training with Chelsea also taught me about that top 9 pictures being really important, because when somebody comes to your Instagram, what they see is your bio first, and then they see the top 9 pictures, the quilt on your page, right? So you want to make sure that in those last 9 pictures that you have a good variety of what you're all about. So for example, if you have a pet turtle, I'm going to use a pet turtle because I don't think anyone in here has one, but if you have a pet turtle and you post a picture of your pet turtle every day, and that's the last 9 pictures, and maybe before that you have a Shakeology, a workout, a food, a lifestyle, all kinds of great stuff, but if the last 9 pictures are all of your pet turtle and somebody comes on your page and that's the 9 that they see, they're probably not going to follow you. They're probably not going to come to your page because they think that all you're doing is posting pictures of your pet turtle. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Champ has this like rule that I thought was obscene for a while. He's like, if you post 3 pictures of the same thing in a row, I unfollow you. He has this rule with babies, food, and something else. He's like, if you post a picture of your baby 3 times in a row, you're gone. If you post pictures of your food 3 times in a row, you're gone. And I thought it was kind of ridiculous, but Chelsea did mention that like it's really important to have variety. And so she goes so far as to have like a pattern. So if you guys have ever noticed on my thing, I work really hard to make a pattern. So every 3rd thing is a quote, every 3rd thing is food, and every 3rd thing is lifestyle. So when I post in the morning, I post a lifestyle picture. In the middle of the day, I post a food picture. And at night, I post a picture that I think will go viral with some text on it. And so when people look at your page, they're like, oh, she's pretty organized. Like she's kind of got a flow to her thing. So it might draw people to your page, but it also shows a variety. People see that I have a sarcastic sense of humor. My lifestyle stuff usually alternates between like workout stuff and me and Champ stuff, because for some reason people just love Champ. And then my food stuff, I usually try to link back to my Team Titanium page with a recipe or something. So it kind of gives people an idea of like what my flow is all about in that 9 box. So when you're on Instagram, I want you to really think about showing that list of 10, see how much of it you can cycle through it every 9 posts. You know what I mean? So think about maybe if you have a hobby that you can feature every few posts, or you have some special talent that you want to feature, try to get that cycled in those 9 posts. You know what I mean? And I guess I'll call it the Champ rule. Try not to post 3 of the same thing in a row. I don't want to give him credit, but I do want to give him credit, because if you post 3 things of the same thing in a row, first of all, you'll lose him as a follower, but also you might lose some of your other followers, because if they're not interested in that same thing and they see only that coming from you, they might think it's time to unfollow. So that's my tips on there. The other thing that I was going to mention, and I can't really speak too much from experience, just a good practice that I've heard, is finding featured accounts. And I think there's probably a way to Google those, but like, for example, Shalene has like a featured workout account. And so if you're on there, you're going to see her post videos that are reposts of other people. So a feature account is basically when a person runs an account and they feature other people through their stuff. So like there's style ones, there's fitness ones, there's nutrition ones, and those are good places to go and just look for other people, because if you're interested in that fitness or nutrition or whatever it is, then the people that are following those feature accounts are probably going to be people that you would connect with. So I want to try that more before I give you more information about it, but that would be one final thing if you master all the other stuff. So any questions about Instagram?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah.
You know how you were saying that you search hashtags and then just go and like a bunch of pictures?
Mm-hmm.
So I started doing that the other day, but I'm kind of anal. And so like I would like go and like look at and see the list, like I have it like running this way, and then I would like go and look at their profile and like see if they were even a Beachbody person. And then if they were a Beachbody person, then I was like, well, they're probably not going to want to follow me, so I'm not going to follow them. And then it gets like overwhelming, and I don't know if I should just ignore that and just like pictures, or if I should take the time to go through and like look more, you know?
So, I mean, I do the same thing. Like if I'm going to go through and like a bunch of them, I check and make sure they're not a Beachbody coach first. That's about as far as I look is their profile. If it says Beachbody coach, then I'm out. If it doesn't, or if it says like Herbalife or any of those other things, like I'm out.
Yeah, that's good.
If it doesn't say any of that, then I'll go through and do it. I don't really search that much more. But it's up to you. Like you're basically going to be vetting these people at some point, right? So it's either when you first are liking their stuff, which is a good time to do it because you're on their profiles. Okay, bye, Katie. Thanks for jumping on.
Okay. Thanks. Sorry, I have a huge day tomorrow.
No, you're fine. Have a good one.
Thanks.
And then, or otherwise, like if they like you back, then that's when you would go through and check and see, are they a Beachbody coach? Are they whoever? Then you decide if you want to follow them. Because there's no harm in having them follow you.
Yeah.
I just never initiate a follow. I think that's kind of what I've gotten to. Like, I don't initiate a follow. I just initiate a bunch of likes and comments.
Gotcha. I mostly get followed by It Works people, and it drives me crazy.
I know,
It
it's
drives
so
me
weird.
absolutely crazy.
I don't understand it. Like, do they think, I don't know what their intention with that is, or if they're just trying to follow people. I'm not sure. But yeah, so, I mean, you're gonna look at their stuff anyway. I think if you just go and do your blind likes of like the 10 to 20 people, the amount of people from that are going to follow you back is going to be a lot less for you to look through. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true. That makes sense. Instead of like looking through each one before liking their stuff or whatever. Yeah, that's probably better.
Yeah, you might as well just like it and then see where it goes from there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
And also the reason that you couldn't hear earlier is because I live on such a loud street. I have to stay on mute or else it always picks up every time a car goes by and then it doesn't pick.
Oh,
Right. So I gotta stay on mute when I'm not talking.
no problem. Any other Instagram stuff?
Question.
Yeah.
Okay, so I do not know Instagram very well at all, actually. Does it kind of work the same way where with Facebook you can put more private posts, or do you know what I'm talking?
I
Like,
don't
find me on there too.
I don't think you can make your Instagram. I think it's either private or it's public. I don't think you can differentiate on separate ones, right?
Right. Yeah, you can't put any options in for posting. I mean, besides not putting hashtags, but then that kind of defeats the purpose of people finding you through hashtags. But either you have a private account or you don't. There's no like specifics on that. But you can have multiple Instagram accounts now, because I have one for my work, and then I have mine, and then my boyfriend made a cat one. But it used
Now you're allowed to post cats on all day.
it used to be before that you had to completely sign out and then sign back in, and it was annoying. Now you literally can just switch between them. So it might be better where you maybe have like a specific, more like Nicole as a Beachbody coach one, and then like a private one, you know, and then, I mean, it's maybe a little more time consuming, but if you're concerned about that, you can have the one be completely public and then have your personal one be private, you know?
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
it's much easier now than it used to be. That's an
But
awesome.
then the Beachbody coach one, my kids could still find me, right?
They could, but not if you don't link it to like your name. Like you could just do Coach Nicole or something like that.
Yeah, don't link it to
And
Facebook
don't
or
link it-
anything.
yeah, don't link it to anything that they would be able to search by. So you might even use like a different email that they wouldn't know, you know, like, because I think the only way to search it is by username and maybe email.
I have
Yeah, and don't put your last name. You don't have to put your last name, or
Yeah.
put your maiden name, because they won't know that. So
Yeah.
I don't even think you need to put your last name.
No, you don't, because like my
Share an account.
username is Mrs. Champ. So like, I mean, your username can be anything.
Yeah, mine's Coach Sarah D. It doesn't have, and I don't think my name's on there anywhere. So yeah, you don't have to worry about that.
Nicole, I love that your students search you. I teach high school, My kids, I mean, other than like the 2 or 3 that really care, the rest, they don't care. They're like, Facebook, what?
They're obsessed with it. And they always do it, and then they come back and find me like a week later, and they're like, I found you on Facebook. You're not my friend. And I'm like, I told you not to search me.
You're all, yeah, and I won't be.
Yeah, drive me crazy.
That's so funny. Yeah, so I mean, that's totally an option, and if you're gonna do that, so I don't know if you guys know. Does everyone know how you link your Instagram to your Facebook? Does everyone do that? So you can either share it right from there, which some people say doesn't get as many views, or you can just do the same post. I do for myself. I use the website If This Then That. It's IFTTT. Yeah, IFTTT.com. And you can like set up recipes. So for me, I have every time I post on Instagram, it automatically posts it to my Twitter account. So I don't go on Twitter, but I want to have, like I was telling you about your like page, I want to have stuff there in case people land there for some odd reason, or in case I'm like searching people. When I tell you guys more about Twitter, you'll see this. I want them to have something to land on. So basically my entire Instagram feed is mirrored on my Twitter. And you can do that with Facebook. You can do that with all kinds of things on that website. If This Then That. That way you don't have to manually do it. It does it for you. And so I don't know with Facebook with the algorithm, I don't have it set up to automatically do it, but with Twitter I do, because it doesn't matter. There is no real algorithm with the Twitter. So I always have my Instagram going directly to my Twitter just so I have something on there. And I set that up one day like a long time ago, and I totally forgot I did. And I went to Twitter one day and I was like, I have so much content. This is so awesome. I was like so happy with like myself from a year and a half ago. It was like, yeah.
Do you only use that website, or do you use the app too? Because Shailene was talking about on her podcast the other day that she uses it to like remember to do things too. Like if it's 11 a.m., remind me to make a post or whatever. Like, but I think it was an app, right?
Yeah, I think they do have an app, and I learned about it at Smart Success, which is Shalene's thing. And so that's when I set it up, because I was like, well, let me try it. And then I totally had forgotten that I did. I don't use it for anything else. I did use it last week. Patrick was messaging me about it because we were talking about Fitbit stuff, I think, like having it back up to your Google Drive. Like there's so much you can do on there, and I don't even begin to understand like all the different recipes that you can make. He had some really awesome ideas, but I don't fully take advantage of it, but it's just a really good way. It's kind of like the Hootsuite of social media. Like it just automatically does it for you. So I use it for that. But there is a lot of other stuff you can do with it. Like every time you take a picture on your camera, it'll save it to like your Dropbox or other stuff like that too. But that's like, for me, way above
Yeah,
my.
right. Okay, just wondering.
Yeah. But in theory, it sounds like a great idea to use for other things. So that would be my Instagram tips. But definitely get your profile, make sure that's like attractive, easy, concise. Oh, and then the other thing she said about the profile, let me see if I can remember what it was. And this is all from Chelsea. Like when we were in the Florida Keys, she gave us like a tutorial about, so your name on Instagram, like if you're using your actual name, it's the first thing that'll show up and it's in bold. So I don't put my actual name. You put your email address there. So that way people want to reach out to you, or like whatever website you want people to go to. If you put it there, it'll be bold at the top. So I know you can't read that because it's too far away. But instead of putting my actual name, oh my God, I just realized that there's a typo. It says gmail.com. It's been like that for over a year. That's awesome. I'm sure people are smart enough not to type that in. But so the first line, whatever you, so special. Whatever you type in where it says name, that's going to be bold at the top. So make it something that you want people to see, whether it's your name, whether it's your email, whether it's maybe your Facebook address. That way people will see that first. And then at the bottom, it allows you to have a link. So I always link it back to my, Facebook like page, because that's where I want people to land. I don't want them landing on my personal page. If they land, I want them to land on my Beachbody page, which is my like page. So I always have that link in my bio. So make sure you have a good bio set up. Make sure you have a good last 9, and make sure it's a picture of you clearly in your profile picture. I hope you guys know that. You don't want to be confused about who you are. But yeah, I mean, Instagram is just a great way to reach out to strangers, I think. I think Facebook's good for connecting, but I think Instagram's a really good way to find strangers and then feed them into your Facebook so you can have conversations. That's my 2 cents. Cool?
It's like 2 cents.
Good. Okay. Then I want you guys to activate that stuff, and then maybe next week I'll go over the Twitter stuff, and we can talk about if you have Twitter, what you can do with it, because it's a really great tool as well, but a lot of people don't have Twitter or have content on their Twitter, so maybe that's a next step for some of you to do. But it sounds like we have a lot of next steps already, kind of setting up some like pages maybe, fixing our privacy settings, and then I really think all of you should at least try to join a couple of groups before next week and try some of that engagement that we talked about.
Oh, that was one more question. I did try joining some groups, and one, they let me, they added me, but like the rest of them, they didn't add me. And I don't know if it's because like it says Beachbody Coach on my profile and they think I'm just trying to sell something, but I was kind of bummed because I actually really wanted to be in the groups, but they didn't let me in.
Do you know who the admins of those groups are? Like, does it say it when you're trying to join?
I don't know. I'd have to look. I don't know.
I mean, if there's groups, like I would just shoot a message. I think you might be able to see who the admin is, because usually on a group, if it's closed, you can at least see who the administrators are.
Oh, okay.
I would just shoot them a message and be like, hey, I'm joining one of your groups. Like, I'm really interested, or whatever it is, and tell them why you want to join it. Because yeah, they might just see Beachbody Coach and be like, nope, or they might see It Works and be like, nope. So if you actually make that contact, like if I was running that group, I'd be like, cool, yeah, great.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I think you should be able to find out who the admin is.
Okie doke.
I have one other question with the Facebook groups. In Santa Clarita, we have a bunch of those trade pages, and it was the first time someone was selling the 21-day fix containers. And is it I know like you don't want to sell product, but in my head, I was just thinking, yes, get the containers, but get the workout DVDs too.
Right.
And would that be inappropriate to say that? I'm not trying to sell it to them.
No.
I'm just, hey, side note, you might want to not forget about that part.
Yeah, I mean, I would comment on it, sure. I'd be like, yeah, or I would even put like, yeah, I have the containers too, they're great, but make sure you get a full program, blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say anything more than that. Like, people might then have a conversation and you can like jump in and give your 2 cents, but yeah, I definitely wouldn't be like, you can get the containers, you can get them from me. But yeah, I mean, if you have an opinion on something, I don't think you should censor yourself just because you are a coach too. I think if anything, that just adds, like I said, you're adding value. And I think that's really
It was the first time I was like, I'm 30 pounds down, people. It's not just the containers. I mean, it's a huge part, yes.
yeah.
But it's like, so it's fine.
30 pounds is awesome.
But maybe like Vicky was saying, if you put that on there, they might go, oh, okay, she's used that. Let me go check her out and see what she's doing or whatever. And then they'll see your progress pictures and whatnot. And then be like, oh, maybe she knows a little bit more about what she's doing, than the other person. Maybe I'll ask her some questions about her journey and how it went. And then it could just organically grow from there if they're interested or not.
Right.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think just sharing a true testimonial, if nothing else, then it just validates what that other person is selling, and we're all about just getting people the results and the help. So even if it goes through someone else, like you're still helping that.
Yeah, and thank you for mentioning last week about thinking about other things too. It's just been fun to not, because I think I caught myself just posting about Beachbody and the changes that I've been making, and so it helped me post other things as well. So thank you.
Yes, of course. Good. I'm glad to hear it. Awesome. Carissa, you have something?
I do. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm like unmute.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
So on Instagram, would you recommend putting, because right now I have my beachbodycoach.com/whatever in there. Would you recommend putting the email instead?
Yeah.
Because they can PM you on there. So, but email would probably be better.
I think email's better because I think that if someone wants to reach out to you, they'll send you an email. If someone just goes to that website, like imagine if you're just clicking that's just going to take you to a product ordering page. You haven't even like interacted with them, told them anything. Like there's really no connection built there. So I would think if they follow that link, they may just think you're a distributor, right? Like which we are, but we're coaches. We want to build a relationship. So I'd rather have someone reach out to me via email rather than go to my coach page. You know what I mean? Or even do your Facebook page or whatever, but I'd rather send them somewhere where they're going to see value or get value than just straight to my ordering page.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good question.
With that, do you think that you should have a specific Beachbody email? Because I wouldn't want to put my regular email on there and maybe get like spam stuff, you know, like people trolling through Instagrams. Like, do you think you should make your own like Beachbody email account?
Yeah, you could. I mean, you could do like coachsarahd@gmail.com or whatever it is. Yeah. I opened up a Team Titanium Fitness @gmail.com. I just never use it. I mean, for me, my email is my name. So like it makes sense in that thing. Like it's my name and it's my email. So it kind of like serves both purposes. But I also don't mind having spam in my box. I'm not like at that point yet, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's worth a try. It also compartmentalizes stuff for you if you set that email up.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm pretty anal once again. So my email is like perfect. Like, you know those people that have like the notifications and it says like 4,000 emails or whatever, like my stepmom? Mine, never. It never has more than like 5 emails or I freak out.
I'm at 9:45 right now.
That would drive me insane.
Right? I have 3 and I like am panicking that I need to like delete them.
And
like,
I have none. I have 40 voicemails.
That means people can't even leave you a voicemail. It probably says this mailbox is full, which means Vicky doesn't care enough to hear your voicemail because she won't know who everybody else is.
Let's see. 39 voicemails. I wonder who they're from.
I have that too. Vic, you and I are a lot in common with emails and voicemails.
I can't have notifications on anything. The little red dots drive me insane.
Me too. Even
I can't handle it.
Even Facebook stuff, I have to go get rid of them really quick. Nope.
Right? Even if I don't look at what the notification is, I just want to clear it away from my phone.
Yeah. Perfectly. You can't see it, but yeah, there's nothing.
Yeah. Same here.
I'm not gonna lie. I really don't like the new app because look at what it says in mine. 118 things that I have to go and like click so they go away. I'm trying that group and I just really am not finding it to be, for me, the best. So
I'm glad you said that. I downloaded the app, but it just seems like something I don't like. Like I kind of like having to go into my group and like, I don't have a group growing right now, but the app didn't seem like something that I would like.
I thought I was gonna love it, but I'm looking forward to getting it back on Facebook in April. That's my initial analysis.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that group too.
Do you have people that weren't from Facebook?
Nope.
Added into that group, so it doesn't even make sense to have it then.
Nope. I thought it'd be more convenient for them and for me, but I think even my sister said, she's like, there's no engagement. And I know it's my fault, but I've kind of like thrown in the towel from like week 1. I was like, nope, this is not good. So I just
send you notifications like, hey, you haven't worked out today. Like get your butt up and go do it. Or
it was supposed to, but like I haven't logged since like the 3rd day and I haven't gotten any notifications. I've just gotten these annoying, like it says there's 118 things to get caught up on. So it hasn't like pinged me. I don't know. I'm sure there's a good way to do it, but I haven't found it yet.
I'm going to work on that next week during spring break, guys, because I am bound and determined to make that thing work.
Okay. You will do it. You will do it.
So when it sends people notifications, does it say like Vicky said whatever, or it's just the app sending the notification to people to do things?
It's a feed. So I haven't gotten the app send me anything, but like I can schedule posts. And then it's just like a Facebook feed, but it's just so I don't know. I thought it would be better because I thought people didn't spend that much time on Facebook, but I think honestly just having one more app to check is worse.
Especially when it's like you and you don't care about a million notifications, so you just let it go. Yeah. Where I would go to bed, like I'm not able to go to sleep if my phone.
Oh my gosh!
Lauren.
Oh man!
No, I never get time for that.
Lauren's got to be
the winner. I would die.
I love it.
I think at that point you should just delete your email account.
I know. But see, that's not my Gmail. I don't know what that email is. I look at my Gmail. I do have 910. But I look at that one. I don't know what the other one is.
If we were hanging out right now,
That's my Gmail.
I would be deleting your emails for you.
That's my Gmail. But then what is that? What is this? What is that?
You probably have
Sarah, when we go to coffee, you can delete my email.
Yeah, I will sit there and literally unsubscribe for you. I'm like, do you want this? No.
Unroll me.
I love
unsubscribing.
unsubscribing.
It's like the best.
I love it. I'm so glad you made a post about that like way back.
Yeah, Unroll Me is like the shiznit. It gets you.
What is Unroll Me?
It's unroll.me. It's a website that'll unsubscribe. It'll go through your email and figure out all the things you're subscribed to, and you can unsubscribe from them just from that site. You don't have to go to each specific thing. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
And the stuff you want to stay subscribed to all comes into one email.
Yeah, it all comes in one little email.
Yeah, like I have Carter's
Wow.
and Kirkland.
I need that.
I don't have that problem because, my notifications are on point. So just.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
I've got 0 red. Okay, by next week I'll get rid of all my red bubbles.
I hate them.
We know what everybody's doing tonight.
Yeah, right? Some people
No
are
way.
getting rid of their bubbles.
I'm going to
Everybody
bed.
except for
Sorry.
Nicole and I, because we're already on point. We have nothing to get rid of. I'm gonna just keep texting
for like 5 days.
You guys are gonna sabotage me. You're just gonna leave me voicemails of you breathing like.
Wait, we can't leave a voicemail because you're
Right? Yeah. It's
It
probably
is not
cool.
full. There's room. You know what?
Everybody text Vicky.
This one solar guy used to call me all the time, like trying to get me solar, and like so I just have like all these voicemails from this solar guy.
You know, you can delete it without listening to it. You literally can just swipe it and delete it right there.
Same with emails.
Can't you just put delete all? Isn't there like a delete all button?
There you go.
No, there's one hidden from my mom. I'll listen to that before I delete them all. That would be the nice thing to do.
Hey, one of my employees has voicemails that are 2 years old that she still re-listens to. I don't know why.
I save the ones like my nephew called. It's like, I love you, Auntie, and I leave that. And it's super annoying. Like every 21 days, it's like this message will be deleted. Blah blah blah. No, save it. You need to listen to the whole thing.
Google Drive or something?
What?
Can you just like save the noise file? I know it's not called a noise file.
I don't know. I know what you're talking about. That's
You
what I
could
was
just
about
tell
to
him to call back every 21 days and leave a new
I know.
message.
Here, I'm just gonna schedule an event because
I have voicemails on here from 2014.
What?
Somehow they saved. But they are not red bubbled.
they are not red bubbles, so you're in the clear. You
That's
have to
probably
wear a
listen.
test.
Well, you know what Nicole's doing when she gets off. She's deleting those voicemails.
And Lauren's just like, I still don't know where these emails came from.
I don't. I'm trying to figure it out.
Oh man. All right, I gotta go start deleting these. Thanks, girls, for jumping on. I'll post this and stuff, but go get to work, do some of the stuff, and we'll talk about it next week, okay?
Thanks
Hold
for
on, I
all the
need to take a
tips.
picture. Don't get
All
off.
right. Oh yeah.
Good night.
Wait, I'll do it. Hold on.
Okay, I got
Okay,
it.
wait, I'm not done yet. Hold on. Okay,
Oh, sorry. I was scratching my face.
okay, that's a good one. Thank you.
Yeah, last
Okay,
week it was like everybody smiled. I'm like,
you girls. All right, night, girls.
bye.